In a world where businesses everywhere are trying to make print-on-demand sales, one podcast goes above and beyond every week to bring the most POD-specific information there is, all to help save the day, every day. Don't succumb to the enemies of your print-on-demand business. Sign up today for the Print On Demand Cast VIP email at printondemandcast.com/VIP. This time, it's for real.
Radical! Welcome to this week's episode of the Print On Demand Cast. Each week, join the gnarly Travis and Josiah as they provide insight into the print-on-demand industry and equip you with the totally tubular tools, advice, and strategies you need to achieve success and hopefully have a few laughs along the way. Now on to this week's Totally Tubular show.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Print On Demand Cast. Glad you're here and glad you're listening. So this week on the Print On Demand Cast, we're going to be talking about the state of the Print On Demand Cast. That's kind of redundant, I guess. But yeah, if you've noticed, I didn't put out an episode last week. I'm actually recording this Thursday. It's audio only. So yeah, there's some changes. Obviously, Josiah left the Print On Demand Cast to go on to bigger and better things. And that has caused me just to, kind of pause. So this is going to be an abbreviated version. It is obviously audio only. And I'm going to kind of give you some of my thoughts on what I'm thinking about with the Print On Demand Cast. And so, not going to be talking a ton about print on demand, although, specifically. So, if you don't want to listen, that's totally fine. I just wanted to get this out there for you guys so you can know what to expect. So the first thing is I've really been focusing on my print on demand business a lot, been doing a lot of custom products, a lot of custom ornaments. I did post something in the Facebook group, kind of sharing how I do custom ornaments. If you're interested in that, you can go check that out. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, just ask and I'll let you in. It's printondemandcast.com/Facebook. And you can get in there and check that video out. So I've been doing that process, even kind of tweaking that process a little bit with my virtual assistants as different things have come in, different ornaments. And we've kind of figured out a few other things even since I did that video. So beyond that, I've been creating some new mock-ups for some new products that we're launching. So I've been doing a lot with Photoshop Smart Objects because we use bulk mock-up to do most of our mock-ups, and they require a smart object. So I've been finding things that I like, manipulating the actual photo to where I like it, and then I create a smart object. So I've been learning about, some shading and, different things like that, the lighting that makes it look more real, I guess, in a good mock-up. And so I've been doing a lot of that, putting some of those things together, just going through a lot of things with my virtual assistants, talking about how to add particularly this one new product that we're going to be launching, or that I think is actually getting launched either today or tomorrow. And then the ability to continue to work on our mock-ups to make our products appear even better, in the marketplace, on Etsy, on Amazon, on Walmart. We're just kind of rethinking through all of that things, because that's really, the mock-ups are really one of the most important things to make your product stand out once somebody actually clicks on it. So, SEO is pretty dang important, but once somebody actually sees it in the search that they've entered into that particular platform, well, the next thing, is your mock-ups. And so if you have really good mock-ups, you can increase your conversion rate, which then in turn tells the platform, hey, people like this product, so we're going to rank it higher. So it's pretty important. So I've been really focusing on that a lot. And yeah, so that's really kind of the update, I guess. I haven't really done much as far as it's been cold here in Colorado. We had a pretty big snowstorm. My kids went sledding in the dark. A couple years ago, we took them on New Year's Eve and we did a midnight sledding run, and it was a lot of fun. And so now my two youngest just did that the other night. My son had a couple friends over, and so they went to the sledding hill around 11 o'clock on a Friday night. I think it was Friday, and had a good time. But yeah, I haven't really been doing much. So I guess that's the update. Not that you care much about what I'm doing personally, but that's what I'm doing in my business. Last time we had a print on demand cast, it was actually episode 220. This is episode 221. I talked about a free spreadsheet that I provided to you guys. And you can get that at printondemandcast.com/production-comparison-sheet. Or you can go to the episode notes of episode 220 and download it there. Or you can just go to the Facebook group, because I just posted in the Facebook group right before I pressed record on this. I just kind of did some updates on it and made it a little easier. So you only have to enter in the product price once and, and the percentage of how much the platform is taking. Like Amazon takes 15% on a coffee mug, or, Etsy takes this much. And I added an extra field for additional fees, because Etsy charges you to relist the product. So, some of those types of things. So you can go there and you can, if you already downloaded it, maybe you want to grab it again. I just tweaked it a little bit, but it's available for you. It's free. There's no email opt-in or anything like that. I just wanted to make you aware of that, I guess, because it was a lot of fun making that. And I think it's a really valuable tool. So check that out, and hopefully that'll help you. All right. It is now time for the weekly dad joke.
Time for the weekly dad joke.
This week's weekly dad joke, brought to you by your friends at the Print on Demand cast, is not actually weekly, because I didn't have one last week because I didn't record a podcast. But that's okay. We're not going to change the bumper. Here it is. So, you probably didn't know this about me, but I like to run. I actually recently ran a marathon that I'd been training for quite a while. I didn't win, but crossing the finish line, I still felt the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And that's this week's weekly dad joke. Hope you like it. I thought it was funny. So I do actually like running. I don't do it as much now. My wife recently got a elliptical for free on Facebook Marketplace, and I've been doing that a little more. It's a little better on your joints, get a little older. Maybe I'll get back into running. Maybe not. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We don't have a point of interest this week. Like I said, it's going to be a shorter episode, but I do want to get into the main event. So let's cue the bumper. It's the main event. Talk about your prints. They're sitting on the fence. This is the main event. When we do audio only, I have a lot more options on the bumpers. So, because we don't have as many video bumpers, we didn't put as many of the audio to video. So, this week's main event, like I said at the top, it's the state of the Print on Demand cast, and it's just kind of me pulling back the curtain, getting honest with you, sharing with you what I'm thinking, and here we go. So I realized something recently about the Print on Demand cast, and I have been, and if you're a long-time listener, you've probably heard me talk about how I want to monetize the podcast, and I've talked about it for a long time, and even kind of spilled my guts on why I hadn't, and different things like that in some of the episodes. And so I just realized, though, that I feel like I've been seeing the podcast in an incorrect light, I guess I'll say. I was treating it actually like it was the product, like that was the product. And so we were doing, social media, trying to promote it. We were, doing our email marketing, trying to get people back to the, and that was kind of the center of everything. And I guess, I don't know why it took me this long, but I just literally realized that a podcast is really just part of a marketing device. It's part of a marketing system to get people to a product. And like I said, I don't know why it took me this long, but it kind of made things a lot clearer for me where the print on demand cast kind of fits into the ecosystem of my business. And I realized I don't really have a product because I thought I did with the print on demand cast, but it's not, like I said, it's not a product. It's a marketing strategy. It's part of the funnel, that helps people, warms up the leads and get, if you're in the marketing speak, it gets them, into that funnel and closer to a buying decision for a product. And so I realized I don't have a product, and I've taken a few stabs at a few things. I do have some consulting that I've done, with some people, some training and, different things like that. I've also, I do have a membership that I've created that I really haven't announced or talked about much. And there's a few people in there, but really, I haven't really finalized that product. And so my thinking on that is that if I want to keep going with the print on demand cast, I really need to have a solid, not just a product, but like a solid funnel, that actually gets people into that product. And it needs to be a really good product. It can't just be, an ebook or something, you know what I mean? Or something that, it just needs to be good. And so if I have a product, then there's a reason for the print on demand cast to exist beyond just my ego. I mean, yes, it did start as a kind of a passion project. It was fun. There was ego involved in that. I wanted to be seen as somebody who understood business and understood print on demand, wanted to, kind of pump myself up. I may not have articulated that, but I'm sure that was in the mix somewhere, as I'm sure it was for Josiah. So here we are 4 years later, and obviously it's something that we've done every week. It's something, there is a kind of a work element to it. It's not as fun and exciting, coming up with the content or whatever every single week anymore. So it's a little bit more challenging to motivate myself to do it. And so now that I've realized that it's not actually a product, I'm not even sure, I want to do it anymore. So I do want to do it though, there is a part of me that wants to continue to record podcasts. It is fun. I enjoy it. But it takes a lot of time. And so it takes time off of other things that I could be doing, other things that'll actually make me money, and so I could see if I had this funnel all, nice and pretty and had, people actually buying a product or joining a membership or something like that, it would make a lot of sense to continue to do a lot of podcasts, and YouTube and social media and all that stuff. But since that's not in place, I'm likely slowing down the creation of these shows. At least if I'm going to create something, it's probably only going to be on audio for a while. If I do videos on our YouTube channel, they'll just be tutorials or examples of something I want to share. Like I did, that video on how we did custom. I just thought it was a cool thing, and I thought people could benefit from it. And so, so there is a passion in me to help people. That is established. I just don't know that the podcast is the most valuable way to do that. I don't know that Instagram Reels and, cute stories and TikToks and all that stuff is the way to actually help people. So I think those are part of driving people toward something that we have to offer. So I think for the time being, I'm just going to slow down on this. I'm going to really focus on working on the business, like I have been. I've been outsourcing a lot more tasks to my virtual assistants. And outsourcing does take time in the beginning. You have to really the virtual assistant really has to understand what you're trying to accomplish. And you have to spend time figuring out how to communicate that to them in a way that makes sense so they can understand the nuance of whatever decision that you want them to make, because it's not usually just a yes or no or do this or do that. A lot of times there's nuance, especially when it's like a customer service related task, which I've been outsourcing some customer responses, putting, hey, when I forwarded this email, or put a filter on my email, and when this type of email comes in, it's going to go to a VA and they have to do this. And so it takes more time to set up the filter, set up do a video and say, hey, this is what I do when I get this, and here's some nuances. And then it takes time to answer their questions as they're getting more and more comfortable with kind of thinking the way I would think about these things. So, product customizing, like when an order comes in and we got to make the art for it, or, trying to outsource that, trying to get all those systems in place. I've really been focusing on trying to get that off of my plate more and more onto my virtual assistant's plates. And that just takes a lot of time. So, and the other thing that I've been focusing on is kind of slowly putting together an actual product. And I could go back and forth on this. I'm like, do I want to jump into this thing and actually, and like I was saying, I do have something available, but I just don't feel like the whole funnel is together yet. And I like to have things complete before I launch them. So I've been kind of procrastinating on that and pushing that back. But I do have an idea. I have kind of a master plan, if you will, for an actual product that can really actually help people. It would probably, in fact, for sure, it would be part of this community that I talked about. So it would be community delivered. Right now, the community I'm talking about is on School, which is a new community-driven platform for learning and different things like that. And they have a classroom and they have a calendar that you can schedule different things. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. It may or may not be on School, but it would have different trainings that I've done or will do. It would have some group coaching around different topics, possibly some one-on-ones with me for people who are part of this, and then the kind of the big idea that I'm genuinely really excited about, but I think is going to take some time for me to complete, is that it would include access to some paid software tools. And I don't want to give too much away, but these software tools will be included for free if you're a part of this community. And so, and they're pretty awesome. Like if you want to do print on demand in a specific way, this will save you money. And you'll have the community, and you'll have, access to me and trainings and all of those things. So it's kind of a win-win. I just have to put it all together. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. And it's not going to happen this year. It's already November, middle of November. We're right in the thick of Q4. Well, we're not in the thick of it. We're coming into the thick of Q4. It's going to be, I'm still working on it, but obviously I would never launch anything in December. But, January, February timeframe, maybe we look at that timing, and I'm just kind of working on it in the background. And that's one of the reasons that I'm not going to really focus a lot on the print on demand cast, at least until I launch that thing. I may, show up here and there, and maybe every other week or every 3 weeks, or I don't want to give any promises. I'll try to stay active in the Facebook group. I may throw a video out there occasionally. I may email our list occasionally, but even that, I'm just cooling off. I'm not doing any marketing, because what am I marketing for? What am I marketing towards? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so if you've listened to this far, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I would love for you to help me out with something. I've asked for people to email me and do all these, and respond to this question or that question. Well, will you do like a 2-minute survey for me? I put it together. It's really easy. It's basically just a survey about some things I'm thinking about and like what you would like in a product. And there's no email. You don't have to enter in your email, your name. It's completely anonymous. I'm just gathering data. But if you would be willing to do that, literally 2 or 3 minutes, just go to printondemandcast.com/survey. Fill it out there. It'll also be in the show notes of this particular episode. I probably will post it in the Facebook group as well at some point, but printondemandcast.com/survey. And literally it'll take you 2 to 3 minutes. It'll help me get some data on what people are thinking about. The reason I'm doing this is a couple of weeks ago, well, actually, last episode, 220, I asked, hey, if you're interested in doing local print on demand, send me an email. And I didn't hear from anybody. And so that could mean one of two things. Either A, nobody wants to do local print on demand. They're not interested in learning about heat presses and, places to buy blanks and getting a wholesale license and, those types of things. It could mean that, which is totally fine. Or it could mean that people just are busy and they just don't really want to sit down and remember to hit reply or sit down to their email and type in info@printondemandcast.com, or they just completely they spaced it. They didn't remember. This survey has that as one of the options, so you can click the button if you're interested in that. And that will give me a lot more information. So that's kind of the reason behind the survey. So yeah, if you would do that for me, that would be amazing. printondemandcast.com/survey. And really, that's it, guys. I know this is a short episode. I told you it would be. I do appreciate you guys. I don't want to leave you hanging. I'll still participate in the Facebook group. I'll still answer the info@printondemandcast.com emails. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just prioritizing, which is exactly what you should be doing in your print-on-demand business, figuring out what makes you the most money and focusing on those things. So that's it. That's me pulling back the curtain. I hope you can appreciate it. I hope you can support me in those decisions. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and probably next week and maybe the week after that, if I don't talk to you before Thanksgiving. Be thankful, man. If you're in the U.S., man, we live in a great country. If you're not in the U.S., well, I'm positive that there are still incredible things for you to be thankful for. So let's just remember to be thankful for all of the blessings that we have. And until the next time, for Travis, for myself, I don't know how to do this without him, man. That's okay, though. I'll see you guys next time on the Print on Demand Cast. See ya.
Hey, babe. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Print on Demand Cast. We hope you enjoyed the Totally Tubular Show. If you've got a question or a suggestion for the show, send Travis and Josiah an email at info@printondemandcast.com. Want to be wicked nice? Take a minute to rate and review the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe now so you don't miss next week's episode. See you next time, for sure.
Hey there, Pod Pals. Are you a print-on-demand creator looking to stay ahead of the curve? You want to know exactly when to launch your designs for every key season and event? How about a chuckle with an extra dad joke to brighten your day? If you said yes to any of these, then it's time to join the Print on Demand Cast VIP list. As a VIP, you'll get our free annual design calendar, an amazing guide to help you time your creations perfectly throughout the year. And of course, we'll include a bonus dad joke each week as well. Signing up couldn't be easier. Just visit printondemandcast.com/VIP and enter your email. Don't let another day of potential pass you by. Become a part of the VIP list, grab your annual design calendar, and let's dive into a year of inspired creating together. We'll see you on the other side.